Hey, it's Patrick from JP Cycles, and today we're going to show you how to take the outer fairing off an Indian Challenger. And the reason you want to do that, if you're going to do any kind of like handlebar work or stereo work, something like that, you're going to need to know how to get inside there. So the first thing we're going to have to do is pop a couple of covers off. And to do that, you could do it with a flat bladed screwdriver, but you got to be very careful you don't scratch or break some stuff. If you have something plastic kind of tool like this, maybe even like a dull butter knife, we'll use that. So let's get started. We'll start pulling these covers off. So the first thing we need to do is pull these rubber liners out of both of the glove compartments, left and right. And if you give a little tug on those, they should come right out. So now we have to pull these speaker grills off, and we want to pry on these from the outside. And that's where having like a little tool like this that's kind of sharp but not really as helpful. We're going to pry from the outside of these speaker grills on either side. So the last cover we have to pop off before we can start taking screws out is this bezel around the headlight. And we're going to go in from the top and we're going to pry down. So the next thing we're going to do is take 3 screws out. You're going to need a 6mm Allen. There'll be one on either side of the headlight and one kind of angled up at the top. If you don't have a steady hand, cover up your fender or you might drop something on top of it. Okay, on either side of the bike, you're gonna need a 4mm Allen. There's gonna be one screw up here on the top of the speaker, and there's gonna be another one in a pocket in the top corner of the glove box. The last 2 screws that are holding this fairing on are going to need a 6mm Allen, and they're right underneath here, one on either side. Now the outer fairing should still hang there, because after we take those 2 out, we're going to have to go back around in front and unplug some stuff, and there's 2 little pins holding this on. But just be aware, these are the last 2 screws. So the last thing we have to do before we take outer fairing off is unplug 3 plugs. Those are the turn signals and the headlight. 2 of them are on the clutch side of the bike, right up in here, and the other one is on the brake side, right over here. They're all pretty easy to get to, especially if you can get the bike elevated. We gotta unplug those before we can pull the fairing off. Okay, so there's basically 2 kind of pins holding this. We're just gonna pull straight out and this should come off. All right, wasn't too bad to get inside our fairing. Now, if we wanna do a handlebar job, wanna get to the amp, or just generally get to the inside of our fairing for something like the horn, we can get in here and access it. So now we're gonna show you how to put it back on. There's these two little pegs right here. We're gonna take our outer fairing, we're basically gonna hang it on those pegs before we start putting things back together. I like to leave these plugs until I have the fairing a little more secure. So we'll put the fairing on here and then we'll go back to our bottom corner screws and run those in first. We're just gonna snug them up though, we're not gonna torque them just yet. Okay, the next screws we're gonna put in are the ones in the speaker well and the glove compartment area. And again, we're not gonna torque those. We're just gonna snug them up and we're gonna move on to the headlight. Now we're back around the front side of the bike. I'm gonna go ahead and plug all of our lighting back in, and then I'm gonna run our 3 screws in, and I am gonna torque these down to 36 inch-pounds. And then we're gonna go back to all of our other screws and torque them to a final 36 inch-pounds as well. So with the headlight bezel, all you have to remember is to put the bottom in first. I'm gonna put this tab in there and then snap the top forward. Speaker grille is pretty straightforward. They just snap straight in. There we go. So the glove boxes are pretty straightforward. They just go straight in. Don't forget on your right-hand side here to put your USB port back inside this liner. Just like that, we're done. Pretty painless process. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a comment. Go work on those motorcycles.